Hello, and I'm going to say good morning. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, but it won't take too much of a detective to realise that though I'm saying good morning and this is going out to you at 10 o'clock in the morning, it is not 10 o'clock in the morning as I am recording it, unless we are having a solar eclipse. But no, it is actually, in fact, Thursday night that I'm recording this because by the time it goes out live, I'm going to be running a class. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Do pop on, leave comments, ask questions, do all of those things, say hello, tell me where you're joining us from, all of those usual things. And I will be catching up with the video either during my class, after my class, depending when we get to the time, but I'll be keeping an eye. So yeah, so just a few little information bits. Let's add to the stream my Love-a-Duckie screen, just to say this is where you will find my blog post, my blog, www.loveaduckie.co.uk, or my website. You'll also find on there links to shops, links to classes, links to downloads, all sorts of things over on that website. And so if you too would like to be joining me in a class, then yeah, go and check them out. There's quite a few there to have a look at now. I have made sure they're all uploaded now until the end of April, when we'll be looking at a new catalogue and classes using products from there. So we've gone as far as we can at this point. Some of those classes that are coming up in the next few weeks, we've got a stamper stack coming up on the 14th of February. Lighting the Way, using the fabulous Lighting the Way bundle, gorgeous bundle featuring these sort of lanterns and fireflies, all sorts of things, really lovely. A Make One, Take One project class. You can either have a kit with the Happy Forest Friends or a kit with the Wisteria Wishes, or one of each. Make one and take one away with you to finish. However it suits you, but those are the two kits that are going to be featuring in February's Take One, Make One project class, or Make One, Take One, whichever way. The technique class for February is going to be looking at different ways that we can play with background stamps. We've got some fun new background stamps out, and we'll just be looking at a few of the different things that you could do with those. And on this slide here, most of these classes are done, but not the Saturday Stampers. We have a Saturday Stampers coming up, which is an all-day in-person event coming up on the 4th of February from 10 till 3 in Great Doddington, so not very far from me here in Wellingborough. If you would like to come and join us for that in-person event, you would be very welcome. As I say, you can check all of those things out on my website. Some of these classes are also available either in the post. So if we flick back to the other classes here, the stamper stack, you can have them in the post option. The Make One, Take One kits, you can have as an in the post option. And the technique class, you can either come and do it with me in person in the morning or do it with me via Zoom in the afternoon. Both those are options. So lots that you can do if you're not local to me. There's lots of ways that you could still join in and have fun. And the other thing quickly to remind us about before we move on is, of course, the fact that it is celebration, and you can earn free goodies if you shop, if you host an event, or indeed if you join the Stampin' Up family. And there's lots of gorgeous goodies that we've been playing with over the last couple of weeks that were available in your shop. There's a gorgeous stamp set that we were playing with earlier in the week that you can get for free if you host. And there are three options. If you join the Stampin' Up family, you can pay £125 for your starter kit, get £170 worth of goodies of your choice, plus your choice of either a blue or a white mini machine. So that's choice 1 or 2. The third choice is that you pay the £99, don't get your machine, but still get £170 worth of goodies. That does mean that if you pay that £125, you're getting this machine for £26 rather than its recommended price of £59. So that is surely a bargain worth looking into. Here enters the news. Let's get on with a bit of crafting. So I'm going to bring in my downward facing camera and we'll have a little look at what we're going to be playing with today. And what we're going to be playing with today is this beautiful Seaside Bay suite. It is gorgeous. You've got stamps, you've got dies, you've got speciality papers, there's ribbon, and there's some beautiful flat pearls that we will have a little look at in a minute. And this is the suite that you can, if you buy it from me at the moment, you'll automatically get entered in to the stamp camp. Or if you want to go to the stamp camp, you need to buy the suite. And by buying the suite, which contains all of the above, stamps, dies, ribbons, pearls, papers, you will then get 26 projects, 26 different pieces of inspiration for ways to use this suite of product, and they come from 13 different demonstrators from around the world, including myself, and you get one lot from each of the demonstrators that comes in the form of a tutorial with video links that go with it and a make and take kit to enable you to make up that project and the other 13 that come in that style. And then you get 13 more projects that will come to you via video in a exclusive Facebook group. So buy the suite, get oodles of inspiration, and you'll get a bit more inspiration with it today, because this is what we're going to be playing with. And I have already done a bit of die cutting and cutting things out. So we'll have a quick look at the suite and then we'll do some playing. So we have a stamp set that includes sort of these seaside birds. You've got some shells there, a crab, an oyster shell with a pearl in it. Got a separate little pearl here, a few other different little shells, this sort of sandy bit. Heartfelt sympathy. It's nice to always have a sympathy sentiment, not nice to have to use them, but it's good to have them, and I like the font on that. There's a thank you for everything. You are a pearl, rare and precious. So nice stamp set. It is a cling rubber stamp set, so it is red rubber. So a red rubber cling stamp. We have dies that go with it. So obviously we have dies that are going to cut out those stamped images, as well as having this sort of torn edge die that's going to give you, whether it's sea or sand or whatever, you can use that. You've got these small little shells just here that have already got the embossing in, and you've got this little pearl, this little oyster shell just here, and there is a die that's going to cut out that pearl. And you've also got some grasses in there as well. So a really good comprehensive die set of both coordinating dies with the stamp set and some standalone dies that work alongside it. These flat adhesive packed pearls, I've not used any yet. They are very beautiful. You can see that they're not totally flat, but they're flat topped. They're not domed, and they've got this sort of iridescent pearly finish to them. Really pretty. So those are part of the suite. That isn't part of the suite. We have this ribbon that is part of the suite, which is a balmy blue and white striped ribbon. And then we have these papers, and so they are speciality papers. One side is going to be a pattern and the other side has foiling on it, and as you can see, that's really picking up because we've got overhead lights and things going. You can really see the iridescence in that. Got all the shells. This one has got gold foiling on it. We've got our birds and our crabs on there. This one's got a swirl of fish, goldfish. Gorgeous sort of background. You can see that this would be like the sky and the beach and the sea just here, sort of landscapey sort of a picture. And then you've got this paper just here in the blue. Lovely, these shells just here. And then this wavy paper with this wavy foil in it. Another of those sort of landscapey type patterns. This has got, see that stripe, foil stripe going down it. Looks like waves in the background. Wood effect one there. Got the gold foiling swirling through the back of this paper that's got crabs and shells and things on. A nice stripe. Another colourway with more gold fish. This lovely sort of blue, balmy blue crabs and shells. Another gold foil swirl. Wavy design. Sort of shell-like pattern with gold foiling. Just a really pretty background there. This is sort of almost enamelled type effect on these these shells. Really beautiful. More shells. This one has got sort of splodges of pearly highlights on it. So really lovely pack of paper. 48 sheets, 4 each of 12 double-sided designs. So I have a couple of cards that I have cut here. Let's go with this one first, because you'll have seen in those papers this bird and this crab, and yes, the dies in the set do cut out this bird and this crab, so that is what I have done. I have die cut those, and then these shells just here, I took my paper snips to them and I fussy cut a few different shells. So we've got a collection, we've got a bird, a crab, some shells, and I've also die cut some of these grasses in Coastal Cabana because that's one of the colours in this set. I've taken a piece of the designer series paper with this sort of almost shell-like pattern on it, and it was 13.9 by 9.5, and I've taken the picture this die and cut these apertures from it. So I've got these 3 rectangles, stitched rectangles, now in my pack of paper that I can use with other projects. But then I took a piece of basic white, and this is 13.9 by 9.5. This is about 13.7 by 9.3. So it's just going to sit underneath there. And we've got a mat, 14.4 by 10 mat of Coastal Cabana. So obviously if you're in Imperial, and I've got a long card here that opens, so this would be 29.7 by 10.5 scored at 14.9, or 11 inches by 4.25 scored at 5.5. This would be in Imperial, would be 5.25 by 4, and this one would be 5 by 3.75. And you'd just want about 1/16 of an inch off for this piece to sit underneath. You just want it to sit underneath without showing around the edge, but you don't want it so small that it shows in those gaps. So we've got these layers just here. We've got our little collection, shells, crab, bird, and grasses. And then what I thought I'd do is I would take some blending brushes, and let's have I've got the baby blending brushes just here, so the small mini blending brushes. Bear with me one moment. Just realised that one of the colours that I wanted I'd packed ready for tomorrow. So I've got some balmy blue there. Let's grab a little bit of Coastal Cabana. And I'm also going to grab a bit of Petal Pink. I'm going to take this piece of card just here. What I might actually do, let me come back in with this piece underneath. Line that up a little bit. It's not allowed to be out a little bit. I'm just going to mark where these rectangles are. And let's take a little bit of this to one side slightly. A little bit of petal pink. I'm going to bring it in from sort of alternate sides. So the mini brushes just sort of allow you to work in a smaller space, really. A bit of Coastal Cabana here. Don't want this to be particularly harsh. It's more just a little tickle of colour coming in. And then last but not least, come in with a bit of army blue. Let's have a bit of balmy blue up here. So we've just introduced a bit of a tickle of those colours into that background piece. Stretch over, pick up my rubber, just they probably won't show through particularly once we put the top on, but just at least rub them out a little bit, even if not entirely. And then we'll bring this in, sit over the top. Let's add some multi-purpose glue to our frame. We'll pop that on there. And let's have a little look what we've got here. Of our bird, and our shells. One of the shells on the floor, but it's okay, I can see it. Let's have these grasses in. Something like that, do you think? Bringing up that wondering if we can get that in there. That's bring in some light navy, I think. Ink that up. Bring this in there, and then we can stick things around it. So let's start off with our little bird. We'll add some glue onto him and sit him so he just sits beside the thank you. Let's put some spot of glue on these grasses. Let's add that one in there. And we'll bring this one, spot of glue on the back, and bring that one in here. Have our little birdie just peeping out just there. Some grass on the back of the crab. And I think we'll have some coming just there. Ooh. Stuck to my finger. Coming up this corner. I think we'll have some dimensionals for this little crab. Just pick a few of those up. We'll raise him up a little bit on there. Just swing that around a little bit. We'll have them there. And then we'll have this little collection of shells. I'm just going to just tuck that under there a little bit. That one tucked under there. We'll raise that one up on dimensionals. And we'll have this little one, spot of glue on there. We'll have that one in there. Rather cute. I've got some of the grey granite twine here. We'll have him sitting down here. Let's just trim that off a little bit. And let's take this shimmery shiny mat with our die cut pieces on, and we will pop that to this Coastal Cabana mat for adding that. We've got a funny mark on there, but that's okay because we're about to cover it up. Pop that onto a basic white card base like that. A really lovely nautical set, obviously great for guys as well as the girls. Let's have a smaller one coming in somewhere. So we'll have that just there. Got a hair just there. I don't think we need that on our finished project, do we? There. Obviously we'll need something to go on the inside. Let me just take a piece of the design series paper from the front. Could die cut a couple of shells possibly. I'm just going to cut a strip of paper and let's cut it down. 14.9. We'll pop that on the inside of our card. Coming down there, I'm just going to take my scissors. It's got a little bit hanging over the edge just there. Just got a bit of that designer series paper on the inside just to coordinate with the front. Really cute little bird and crab, and as I say, that is just simply out of the designer series paper, and these two have been die cut. These ones I did fussy cut, but these ones have simply been die cut grasses, and using the picture this die to create that aperture effect on the front, and our little mini blending brushes, which are also new from the January to April catalogue. Let's move these brushes to one side for a moment. I don't think we're going to want them. We might actually. I think we might move them. We'll see how we go. I'm going to bring in another card here. So this one I've got a balmy blue card base. So standard, cut a piece of card in half, score it in half to make a standard card base. I've got a mint macaron layer there, which is 14.4 by 10 or 4 inches by 5 1/4. I've got a piece of DSP, and this is one side it's one of the swirly fish designs, but on the other side it's got these mint macaron and balmy blue stripes, which bring those colours quite nicely together. And that's 13.9 by 9 1/2 or 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I've just got an 8.5 centimetre square of card there, which is 3 3/8, about 3 3/8 square, and presumably that's about 3.5 square. Yep, so they're 8.5 centimeters, and then this is 9. I'm sure that was right. Let me just check that was 9. Yes, 8.5 centimeters square by 9 centimeters square. That is going to sit on the top there. So I'm going to build those layers up in a minute. I won't stick them down until we quite decide what we're going to do. going to take this piece of card. I do want another piece of card to do some stamping on. Just find a piece of card I can do some stamping on, because I want to take this shell with its pearl just here, and I'm going to stamp that, ink it up in Night of Navy. I'm going to stamp it onto my paper. Yeah, I think we're going to go Night of Navy. I'm just going to grab some blends. Again, got some mint macaron and some balmy blue and some petal pink. Come in, I've just added a bit of mint macaron there. Does it come in on the top here? With some balmy blue. The pale balmy blue, and come in with a darker balmy blue. Add a bit of blue on the bottom here. And there's a bit of green, and I'm also going to come in with a bit of petal pink. Darker petal pink, let's come in. With some lighter petal pink as well. I'm sort of blending these colours together to give that sort of pearlised, almost holographic-y, multicoloured effect. We do here have our pearl. Just going to add a bit of pink just around the edge of that to make that stand out a little bit. And to take a wink of Stella, I'm going to add a bit of shimmer to my pearl. A bit of shimmer to the inside of this oyster shell. Right, somewhere we have a die that's going to cut this out. And I think I'm going to cut a few grasses as well. I think we'll cut those from mint macaron. So let me just run these through the die cutting machine. Line up these dies. Just pop that die down there. There we have a pearl shell and some glasses. I'm just going some glasses, that's completely different. Some grasses. Just going to die cut another small grass. Where have you gone? There you are. Still on my mat, my cutting mat. Now I'm going to grab some Sahara Sand ink. Put the lid on the light of navy just for a minute, and I'm going to grab some Sahara Sand card. I think that will be wide enough. Let's put our oyster and our grasses just there. Let's move aside our blends and our ink of Stella. So to dig about in my stamps and take this stamp just here, which has little shells on it and sand. We've got this sort of spattering of sand and shells. I'm going to stamp this across this card just here. Then there's another little stamp in here that is just sandy bits. Let's take that. Just going to add in some more sandy bits here. A bit of first and second generational stamping as well. I'm now going to take my scissors, just sort of cut around this edge. We have a sandy strip with some shells. Now we might either have that coming in on the bottom here. I might have it as a bit of a border for that to come out of. But then I've also got some Army Blue card here. Two pieces there. I only want one. I'm going to tear across this. We have that as a bit of a wavy effect going on. I'm also going to take a piece of vellum and I'm going to tear this as well to give that a bit of a wavy effect. The foam and waves going on in there. That's how we want that to go. That will build up a little bit of a scene just there. I think we'll go back to our Army Blue. And just find the Army Blue brush. I could go over, head over and grab my big brush for this, but that also is already packed ready for tomorrow's class. So I'll just bring in my little one. It's not a huge area that I'm covering. Just want to add a bit of sense of sky. So I don't mind it being a little bit patchy, giving it the effect of sort of a bit of sky. Let's take one. Come along, little glue. You were working just now. Let's have a strip there. I'm just going to put a bit of glue across the bottom here. That can come up there. Have a bit more blue coming in down here. And I'm going to take this, turn it over, cut off these excess pieces. We'll stick this here. I've got a bit of white showing down there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because I am also going to put our sandy piece across the bottom, as well as we're going to have our sparkly oystery pearl and some grasses coming in on there. I think we're going to take the sentiment that says, "You are a pearl, rare and precious." And let's stamp that in this top corner just here. Put the lid on that ink before we put our arms in it. So another bit of swirly fish paper here. But we're using the other side, this sort of striped effect just here. And just stick this piece on here. You are a pearl, rare and precious. Let's bring in take some dimensionals. I don't need to go right up to the end because it going to overhang and need to cut some off either end. Let's have that going across there like that, and we'll just trim these ends off. Let's just put a little tickle of glue on the bottom of this grass here. And one. Here. Another little one just here. And then we'll stick this on the top. I won't put more dimensionals on because there's already dimensionals underneath, and that will just make it rather layered for going in the post. I'm going to take we'll go with some of the crumb cake twine here. Let's wrap it around the bottom here. Tuck that underneath. Did we manage to tuck that underneath? No, we did not. We'll just have that in a knot. Just squidge it across a little bit, like that. Then take a little bit of tape. Just going to secure that on the back, just so that it doesn't wander too much, like that. And then let's stick this to our card base. Move these out of the way. Sticky bits of card. It's rather lovely, but I just feel as if it wants a bit of something. Going to add some water to my Night of Navy ink pad. Just going to add a few little splatters up there, just to take the starkness away from it. So we have, and I unbury the other one, 2 cards that we've created, one with a bit of stamping and colouring. We don't need that on it, do we? And the other one using the designer series papers, die cutting them, fussy cutting them, using these gorgeous specialist paper there with that pearly sort of iridescent foil on it. And these little flat pearls just here. This one is just layering up some torn strips to give us a sea effect. Got our pretty pearl there that we've added stamping blends to give it that multicoloured look. You can tell that the light's not brilliant this evening because it's struggling to look at that. So you've got that pearly effect in there that we've added a bit of wink of Stella to. And we've got our sandy background just there that we stamped. So a couple of cards using that gorgeous By the Bay suite that is going to be coming up very soon for that stamp camp. So if the stamp camp is something that you are interested in, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. It'd be lovely to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully in the daylight, on Monday morning. So have a lovely weekend, everybody.